Hello guys, my name is Srikii. Welcome to my channel. This is my very first video. So this is all about music, all about guitar. What I'm trying to do through this medium is to try and share whatever I've learned over the years. Not too much, I'm not a professional, I'm an IT guy, but I just want to share everything that I've learned. And if you're a beginner, young or old, if you're a student, and if you always wanted to pick up guitar as a hobby, I will try and help you how to do that. So I will get to how you should choose a guitar and everything about the guitar itself. But before that, please like, share this video if it's not useful for you, at least to your friends, your neighbors, your manna, your tangi, yagaru, your snehitru, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ share ಮಾಡಿ so that they are able to subscribe and learn and benefit. So what we want to do is, and more importantly, put your comments. Now what I want to do is, every week I will try and post one guitar lesson so that you are able to learn, more like a homework, more like an assignment, that you are able to learn what you should be doing week on week. And this is absolutely free, of course, right? So to begin with, this is the guitar. So this is my guitar which I have. It's called the Ibanez. It's an acoustic guitar. It also has pickup, but for somebody who's an absolute beginner, don't be too bothered about this. You don't have to worry. I'll tell you what kind of guitar you should be choosing and so on. So to begin with, let me start with what the guitar is in the first place. So one, it's a stringed instrument, right? There's a lot of string instruments. Guitar, of course, is one of them. So there were three parts to the guitar. So this portion that you see is the neck, okay? Sorry, the head. This portion is called the head. If you see portion of the head, you have these tuning pegs. Now, what are these tuning pegs? These tuning pegs are the ones that controls your strings, okay? We'll talk about the strings in the next video, but this is the most important part, the head. And then of course from here right up till here is called the fretboard. It's called the fretboard or fingerboard. Because why is it called fingerboard? Because that's where you place your fingers in between, not on top of these, but in between the fretboards for it to emit sounds. And then so there's a lot of frets. It depends on the size of the guitars and so on. Then of course you have the body, which of course has the sound hole, which is where the sound is come out from. You will find a lot of guitars that has like a designer in the Hindi movies like Amir Khan or any of these Bollywood movies that you will see. They have some designer kind of holes, but this is a simple round hole. Then this black portion is the plug guard. So there's a little like a small fiber plastic which, when you use a plug drum, you must have seen a small triangle plastic. You get different variants of that. I'll talk about that in the next video too. In which when you strum, so that you don't scratch your guitar. So when I'm doing this, you see, so that it doesn't scratch the guitar, and it's only here. Okay. So this is called the plug guard, and of course this is the bridge. Now the most important part of the guitar is of course this something called as a nut. If you zoom in, you'll see this nut and the bridge helps the guitar keep the strings a little higher than the fretboard. If you zoom in, you'll see the fretboard is a little lower as compared to the nut itself, because the nut and the bridge helps it keeps the strings not stuck to the fretboard, because if it is absolutely stuck to the fretboard, you will not get any sound out of it. Now at the same time, what is important now, if you have always wanted to buy a guitar, if you're a student and you want your parents to buy you a guitar, don't go in for a fancy guitar. Don't go in for a very expensive guitar. Now how do you choose a guitar? Now there's a lot of guitars in the market. If you go onto Amazon or Flipkart or even to a music store near you, you will find a lot of guitars. So what is the difference? Now in some guitars you will have something called as a truss rod in between from here, you'll find a truss rod. I do not have that in this guitar. I had it in my older one. So there's a rod in between this fretboard and the body. So that truss rod helps in keeping the wood straight. It's a very complicated process. Now, if your fretboard, for example, let me give you this example. When you go in, pass it the scale. When you go to buy a guitar, you'll find a lot of beautiful guitars in the market, right? But how do you choose something that's nice? Now, this is a simple Pluto guitar. This would cost you about $6,000-7,000 online, I guess. So how do you choose? Now, I've seen a lot of people who go to buy a guitar. The guitar is tuned, but then you'll find that this string, for example, the strings are way too high from the fretboard. Now, why you should not buy a guitar like that when it's tuned, of course, is not too high, is because you will find it very difficult to press the strings down to play, right? So if you put a scale like this, it should not be, okay, let me try from this side, maybe 4 mm maximum, 4 millimeters is what it should be to the max. Anything more than that, don't even take it, right? Or even if it's about 4, little lesser than that also is fine. So once you choose that guitar, I would say if you're in India, of course, anything lesser than 2,000 rupees to begin with, I think would be a good option. Okay, I will talk in my next video about the strings itself. If you see all these strings, the way it is plugged in, how to hold it, how to tune the guitar, and how do you start off, because a lot of people get confused when they are holding the third string. Then they have to look this side and make sure that their fingers also are on the third string to play. So I'll tell you how to get over that. Of course, it needs a lot of practice and dedication. So please post in your comments, like and subscribe. It'll also help me analyze how many people are watching. So based on that, I'll be able to increase the frequency of the videos that I'll be posting. Okay. So till then, take care, stay safe, and God bless.